You've got Wonder Woman to consider as well. Obviously, it would be no surprise if Dino Riders picked that on their first rotation, just explicitly because of the power that she brings to the table. L'Oreal, like what you mentioned, but no, Allegiance says Wonder Woman is ours.
Yeah, they're going to secure the side lane first, and that leaves L'Oreal open for Erde. And Erde, I believe, has a pretty good Wonder Woman, so let's see if he's going to be able to pick that up. And then they also have Lumber. Lumber can be picked up as probably one of the next better supports after a Teamy, for example.
Well, it looks like they're looking for that Lumber, and we talked about Kilgroth. Going to be
and he's a first pick. Yeah, he's a first pick on the side of red here. And Ryoma will be open. Teamy, I mean, not Teamy, sorry, not Lumber, but Ryoma, Zil, L'Oreal's open. So L'Oreal and Ryoma will be picked up here, and that's a really solid draft from both sides so far.
I mean, Allegiance, they have so much kill potential in this 1 through 3, so much disruption available. I like it. We've seen Wonder Woman do work all day, take team fights into her own hand. I mean, Lubu being hovered on the other side here for Dino Riders. This is a very melee-heavy composition. Melee may be something that can be punished here by that L'Oreal, but I like the pick of the Morin here to round that out.
The Morin and the
Lubu.
They're
denying,
denying the Morin away, because obviously you don't want to put the Morin back into the hands. Obviously, now you've got Zil and Mina being locked in just a couple seconds. They've got a couple, but I think this is how they're going to round it out.
Yeah, they're going to. Zill's going to be on Rocker again. Rocker Zil is amazing. Mina is Rest's most favorite support hero. He loves Mina, and you got to watch how he's going to probably take Flicker on her. He's going to Flicker Ultimate Taunt, and that's going to make a lot of plays.
Final pick being locked in here for Dino Riders. Preda falling down to the last pick, and it could work out to kind of help round out their composition a little bit, but you have to look at the power that Allegiance is pulling.
I mean, we've seen Preda's be played really well today. I'm talking like 1-0 death kind of games here. I mean, we've seen in the right hand that hero can do work, but against the aggression that we know Allegiance can bring to that, he's not going to be able to really set up and try and dish that damage at range. He's going to get leaped upon. He's going to be a point of contention. The peel needs to be there, but with that Mina, that's scary. She's going to just bring you right over into the thick of things. So I think Allegiance, I love the draft they put together.
Yeah, and on the side of Dino, they do have a chance too, because Preda is good at countering the dive. Because if they dive onto Morin and he's charging up his Plague Spectre, they have to back off and be very careful, because they also have a Lumber on that side, right? So they can protect Morin pretty well, but knowing how Allegiance plays, I'm sure they have a strategy to get around a lot of that CC.
Well, Allegiance is going to be hoping to make the Dino Riders swear allegiance to them, as the Dino Riders are looking to take them down. But we want to know what you guys think at home. Make sure you head on over to Twitter, type on those keyboards or that phone, and hit us up with the hashtag Valor Series. Let us know who you think is going to win, as well as your thoughts on this first semifinal. As we get closer to the game starting, guys, this is the first semifinal. Dino Riders, despite going up against the Goliath that is Allegiance, do have the picks if they're patient.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, as long as they get more into the late game and play around him and protect him, Dino Riders has a chance, but they got to focus on lane. They have the ADC, they have the range. They got to be the ones shoving lane and pushing towers against Allegiance.
But you know Allegiance is not going to give them a moment's peace. Morn is not going to be able to do what he wants to get farmed, to get fat in this early game. They're going to shut him down hard.
Well, we're going to get to see an opportunity if that shutdown is actually real. Semifinal number 1 for the North American Top 8 in week number 1. It's Allegiance taking on Dino Riders in Virum. Suijay, you're the call.
Here it is, Allegiance up against Dino Riders. Allegiance coming in as the favorites here. And already they are invading in solid fashion, going to try and steal this blue buff as well. And Lubu is there 1v3, trying to do as much as he can to disrupt this. But already Allegiance drawing some form of first blood.
Yeah, and when that happens and invade like that, I would love to see Lubu just shove the wave and crash his wave into the tower, bot tower, so that you make Allegiance lose some wave farm because of that invade. And him trying to secure that kind of wasted some time here. And look at Allegiance collapsing onto the side of Dino Riders. And very well played there.
And that is going to be 2 quick takedowns here, Zil, with that execution, that swirling blade of death and destruction, securing that. But all the while, Lubu in the bot lane is going to be pushing that down. But we just see, hey, that's fine. More buffs, more pressure, more jungle taken away for the side of Legions. That is really going to slow down the farm of Dino Riders.
Yeah, what a nice aggressive play and rotation there by Legion. Now you got to watch how Rocker is going to camp the side lanes. He loves doing that. He loves camping in the side bush once he's level 4, letting Wonder Woman initiate, get a stun, or Ryoma getting a stun, and then killing that side laner, and then trying to take the tower or rotating onto the Spirit Sentinel or Abyssal Dragon. So watch how these side laners are going to play out here.
But I have to say, I mean, as much as the side laner battle is going to be fun, I'm already starting to see some really cool little individual play coming in from the Dino Riders. Like, look, even though they had no chance of killing Lori on the mid lane, they still, just an execution of practice, getting those stuns locked down in perfect succession. If they can do that in a team fight, that's exactly what they're going to need to do against the Legions here. So I liked them already showing that they can do that and already pressuring out this bottom lane here for the side of Legions. That's exactly what they need to do because the Abyssal Dragon has spawned. If they can force back people to spawn already, this would have been Dino Riders' chance to potentially go for this.
Yeah, that was a nice rotation by Dino Riders there. They were able to win the trade against Wonder Woman. Kilgroth was able to push Wonder Woman out of her lane, force her in a defensive posture, and then Morin rotated along with Kilgroth to secure that Bat Sentinel, which is a great first objective there for Dino Riders to stay in this game.
Yeah, the Abyssal Dragon is down to half health now. Dino Riders are going to look to collapse on the Sleepy. Has been found as well. Reposition going to pop the ult, going to try and do as much damage as possible here, but the Dragon is going to fall, getting sniped out here for the side of the Dino Riders. Beautiful play coming from them, and now Rocker is the rest target. He's getting the slow here. They're going to go in, though. Can they find the snipe? No, not quite able to find it there, but now we see Rest looking to go in here onto the Morin. There's the damage from Ko as well, trying to secure this, but Morin is going to stay alive for now, but Wonder Woman is joining in the fray. Can they chase him down? I think they will be able to, and yes, that is going to be the kill.
Yeah, that was an interesting play there. Morin did a really good job. He got the Abyssal Dragon for Dino Riders, so really good play. However, they weren't aggressive enough. They won, Rocker was low. He had to go home, and they didn't get the red. They kind of tried to contest it, but then got collapsed on by KO, and then as a result, they lost that fight and lost that pressure. However, they're doing a really good job here with Kilgroth taking the top tower, opening up the Slayer lane.
Yeah, this is going to be big for them here. I mean, Dino Riders right now opening up that, feeling that pressure up there in the top as well. This is huge. They still have some pressure down here in the bot with that Dragon, but they've got to be careful because Allegiance has shown that they are willing to fight every moment of this game if given an opportunity. They are so confident in their ability to scrap right now, but Dino Riders doing the right decision here. They're sitting in mid, patiently setting a trap here. They're looking for Sleepy. They're going in. They're finding the damage, able to escape most of it. And the ult not able to connect there from Lumber. Nicely done. Rest of the crew is coming in.
Wow.
Look at the damage. They are turning on this beautifully, but splitting the damage somewhat, trying to find these takedowns. Here they go, but not quite as much as potentially they could have gotten there had they focus fire just a little bit better.
Yeah, look at that counter initiation by the side of Allegiance. Such a good job there, fending off that attack. L'Oreal using her smite and jumping out of trouble. And Lumber actually landed a pretty good ultimate on the side of Dino Riders. However, that just didn't work on their favor because Allegiance collapsed perfectly to counter initiate against that dive.
I was so worried for Sleepy there. He is sitting in the mid, like minding his own business, and suddenly he's in the middle of what appeared to be a train wreck. And in the end, Dino Riders ended up falling because Allegiance's collapse, counter collapse, I guess you could say, was just superior here. They didn't quite get as many kills as they could have, just because they kind of split the damage here. But it was still enough to totally force back the side of Dino Riders and extend their lead. But they're only 500 gold ahead, despite a 5-kill difference.
That was very unfortunate. KO actually fell to a tower, so now that opens up the map for the side of Dino Riders to get the Abyssal Dragon, and they're going to take their second Dragon here, and that's going to continue to keep them in the game. So both teams are pretty even for the most part here. One tower for one tower, but Dino Riders getting ahead on stacking those two Dragons so far.
Yeah, that's really huge for them here. That's really keeping them in this game because they are just down those crucial early game kills. But now the invade into the jungle here for the side of Legions. They're going in. Wonder Woman getting a lot of pressure here as well. And they are turning. Look at this pressure going in, forcing into the top lane. Morin is getting solo. Rocker, though, is the one taking a lot of damage. And Zill is there, but look at the turn, the counter initiation back in the jungle, trying to find these takedowns. Sleepy is barely surviving. Skin of the teeth, yes! Barely able to find that takedown. And oh no, Lumber between a rock and a hard place. He's not the rock in this case, and he is going to drop as well.
Both teams are just fighting as often as possible and as much as possible against each other. This is such an exciting match to watch. But you saw Wonder Woman. You gotta watch how MTS engages with that lasso. He's getting in their faces, using his ultimate, and then using the lasso to also catch enemy opponents who are also low in health. He's doing a really good job as Wonder Woman making a lot of good plays here.
Yeah, but I have to say as well, the Kilgroth coming out from the side of Dino Riders has looked super solid so far in this game. Able to get sort of picks on the backline, or at least force Allegiance to move slightly differently in these fights. I think that's part of the reason that they are not totally pulling ahead in this right now. And finding 3 kills in that fight, I have to say, I was kind of expecting Allegiance to sort of come in here and just sort of, I don't want to say walk all over Dino Riders, but kind of make it a little bit harder for them. But Dino Riders is definitely holding their own so far in this match.
Yeah, what a nice dodge by KO there, using his jump ability to escape that damage. And look, L'Oreal uses her ultimate there a little early. Are they going to be able to get the Lubu? And I think he does. Rocker does such a good job on Zil securing that kill.
That man is terrifying. The winds of death indeed, as they are now pushing in here onto this bottom tower. Dino Riders is in full retreat, as Allegiance always able to convert a tower or a dragon or some other map objective here with these kills. I think that's what's really putting them ahead so far, is that they always, whether it be jungle camps, something small, they never just get a kill. They always get something extra.
Really nice job by Dino Riders there. They know they wanted the dragon. They actually reset. They aggro the dragon first, and then they pull the dragon to completely reset. So it basically buys some time there for them to now do a counter initiate and hopefully contest this dragon. Let's see how this fight's going to play out.
So Dragon's getting very low. Allegiance is pushing in here, but no, it is not going to be sniped. So now all that gold is going the way of Allegiance as the fight is breaking out, resting. A lot of pressure in the back of them. They're getting solo. There's the taunt, trying to find it onto Lumber. No, not the ideal target is Zil. Is going off, actually trading out there in the back as well. Lumber in full retreat as Wonder Woman is going to fall sleepy now up against multiple targets, dodging a lot of this damage here as well. As Morn is going off here. KO was trying to get these takedowns here in the back, though. Morn is standing strong. Look at this A moving. Beautifully done from him. Those autos are so solid coming in here. Morn lived so long. Dino Riders coming out.
Yeah, that was huge for keep Morn alive. And then Zil jumps on Preda, and they trade deaths with each other. But now, since Morn is live, they're able to get this mid-ground tower. And you saw Kilgroth on the L'Oreal just took her out the fight, pushed her out of her own ultimate. Because of his ultimate, he cannot be slowed by L'Oreal. So he was able to stick onto her and forced Sleepy to back off and retreat to his bottom tower.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about, the Kilgrath. He's forcing Allegiance to move the way he wants, not the way they want to in these fights. Rocker, though, on that Zil is such a menace. They have to deal with him. They have to shut him down. I think if it had been him going in onto the Morn in that fight, that might have been a little bit different. He got himself a little bit split from the team. They're able to force him down as well there. I feel like if they can be more concise, force down that AD carry, they'll be in a much better position. But Dino Riders only down 1k goal in this game, pretty much even in structures. They are looking so solid. North America is offering up so much great talent.
Yeah, this is amazing for this game to be this close, and Allegiance just looked so dominant yesterday, and for Dino Riders to be able to hold their own says a lot about the promise of this team.
The fight is breaking out in mid, though, as Res is the target. They are going in as well. Lubu doing so much damage, surviving the backline with that lifesteal as well, as look at Wonder Woman trading out here, but it is Morn who is going to drop. So that is a full 5-man team wipe in an instant. Allegiance turned that. That fight was utter chaos, and with a switch, Allegiance takes him down.
Yeah, and look at the build on the side of Zil. He has so much ability power. Enchanted Kicks gives him that magic pierce. He took out that Lumber like butter. Lumber fell so quickly, but look at the levels. You want to look at level 10 versus a level 13 Zil. That's going to be a lot of damage onto the Lumber, and you got to watch for that. With Lumber being taken out so quickly in that fight, not being able to use his heal, definitely won Allegiance that team fight.
I mean, his name is Rocker going up against the Lumber. Makes a lot of sense that he'd be doing pretty well against that hero there. It's in the name, but Zil is doing so much work in this game right now. We said it multiple times. This guy is just so scary to deal with on this hero. Wonder Woman, I feel like, has been a little bit of less of a factor in this game so far, so I'm really going to watch this Wonder Woman to start connecting, start becoming more of a threat here. As Kilgroth is the target up here on the top, but look at Zil going in once again, forcing out the team, splitting this up. This allows the rest of the team to go in, secure the takedown. But they're actually just going to trade here. No, Rocker's going to fall as well, so that was not worth it at all.
Yeah, that was such a nice combo. Morin was able to use his Magnetic Storm, barrage Rocker. He got stunned, and then the Lumber Earthshatter followed up with another stun, and Rocker was just a dead meat. And now this puts Dino Riders right back into the game with those plays, and Lubu takes the bottom tier 2 tower. This is looking really good right now for Dino Riders.
Because trading when you're behind like this is totally worth it because you're shutting down your opponents, you're getting that additional goal. This is huge. Another going in here onto L'Oreal. This is massive for the side of Dino Riders. I totally understand what Rocker was thinking. He wanted to separate out the team. He wanted to make sure to give his space created for his team to get that kill there in the top lane. But in the end, ended up trading his own life, and that was not ideal. And now the Darkslayer. Can the side of Allegiance look to snipe this? L'Oreal's not really even looking to do this. Sleepy is going to try and do it right here, but not quite low enough. They're going to try and go in here. Sleepy not able to secure that, and now Rocker and crew are going in, and that's the takedown. They're trying to fight this out. Now look at the damage Rocker is doing, ripping the team apart. Can he survive through this? Able to get a couple takedowns nice from him. Wonder Woman is going to drop as well, and no, in the end, Dino Riders will sustain through. KO was trying to clean up these kills, but it's not enough.
Yeah, and that was such a great play by Sleepy there. He held off as much power, doing as much damage as possible. However, they were able to focus down and kill Rocker. Morin not being killed that early definitely helped them clean up a lot of that fight. And then Preda just comes in the nick of time to then clean up and seal the deal there. Really nice play by Dino Riders. With the Darkslayer buff too, this is going to be a huge, huge push for them.
We are seeing the power of the traditional AD carry being used beautifully by Dino Riders as Rest thinking he has way more HP than he actually does. Don't worry, Dino Riders happily showed him that it is in fact 0 as they take him down there in the mid lane, securing themselves that top high ground tower as well. This is huge. Rocker needs to not overextend here as well. As Lubu is dropping out in all around this. Rocker just going in. Throw him in the meat grinder right now. Sleepy and crew have stepped up, but look at the damage from Lubu. He needs to make sure he doesn't overextend. The rest of the team is there. More and has joined the fight as well. Watch this. He's going to start to go off as Lumber and crew are there. What a bait going in. Sleepy. One more auto. Can they find it? No, he's going to be able to survive, but look at this mid lane. They're pushing it onto the core.
Yeah, this isn't huge for Morin. You want to keep attacking because he gets a lot of stacks, and this is going to be the game-ending push here. Poor Dino is killing and beating Allegiance. Wow.
The domination of Allegiance is not as predicted, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Dino Riders that are avoiding extinction and allowing themselves to defeat that game number 1 over Allegiance, completely against both of your predictions.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I mean, Dino Riders played really well. Allegiance made a few mistakes, playing overly aggressive. Rocker trying to 1v2 a Morin and a Lumber. Just didn't work out for him there. And then Lubu just did such a good job in bot lane, just taking towers for free and putting Dino Riders right back into the game.
There were so many moments there where I thought, this is just Dino Riders playing well. It's not even that Allegiance just like overly threw that or anything by any means. It's just that Dino Riders played better. That is the biggest compliment that I can give to this team. They just played better than Allegiance in that matchup. Allegiance tried to get a little bit fancy, but it shows in the numbers. I mean, in the end, you just can't, that kill graph just didn't work.
The other thing that you have to think about is the scrappiness of the Dino Riders. 5 of their 5 heroes had a minimum of 7 assists. And so every time that there was a battle, every time that there was a fight, the Dino Riders team was getting involved. And that scrappy nature, that ability to essentially, like what we had in one of the previous games in the European bracket, Allegiance wasn't playing to win, they were playing not to lose. And the Dino Riders, they have nothing to lose because they're in the top 4 against that kind of Goliath. And so being able to secure themselves that game 1 victory definitely speaks a lot about their prowess.
Yeah, and I think Allegiance, too much overconfidence. They made some weird plays, getting caught out, and they normally rotate together as a team, getting caught out with how aggressive Rocker is playing. He got focused on really easy. He built barely any defense. He was a full magic damage Zill, which did a lot of damage, but if you get focused down, you're not going to be able to do much after that.
I mean, we call it the glass cannon for a reason here.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing a lot of damage, but it's high risk, high reward. I think some of the other stuff is that I don't want to call it luck because it was totally skill and timing. But Dino Riders getting those two early dragons, getting the Dark Slayer on those sort of scrappy engages, able to snipe those out away from their opponents. That helped keep them in that early game, getting those early dragons, and then because of that, they were able to convert in the mid game on well-executed fights, don't get me wrong, but that's what carried them into the late game. They just happened to pick some really smart engages early.
Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about that fight, or a little bit about that game a lot more, because Allegiance actually started themselves very strong. We're at about the 8:59 minute mark, where Allegiance actually destroys the enemy team.
Yeah, this is a key fight here. You can watch it engage there. Morin ready to use his ultimate. Preda lands a nice plague spectre, but look at Zeo there, deleting the lumber. He's not able to use his heal, or he didn't have the heal up, and that was a very advantageous win for Allegiance, and it gives them a good lead there.
I think this is that was one of the last fights that we actually saw Rest be effective on that Mina. I think that was one of the big factors here. That taunt got so much value, but after that, just really didn't feel like it was doing all that much in the late game. She was just so squishy. It felt like, yeah, she's a tank, she's a frontline warrior, but she doesn't actually have that much in terms of sustainability and survivability. She was just going in and taunting, and they were like, okay, boom, just swiping her away there. So I felt it was definitely a factor. We didn't really see any pivotal sides pulling people back in to be able to get crucial picks in those team fights. Morin was, after those first initial fights, was never challenged, was just able to play his game.
Well, now we're going to have the next replay, and it is where the Dino Riders were proving their dominance, the T-Rex after the prey, as they secure themselves these 4 kills.
Yeah, you can see there, the Kilgroth is just doing so much work. He can't be slowed down by L'Oreal's slow, and also her slow got a little nerfed. And you can see how well they turned this fight around for them. Even though Allegiant was trying to contest the Dark Slayer, it just didn't work. And Dino Riders, with their focus, played off really well. And little Boo, he's just constantly picking people off and catching them at the end of fights.
I couldn't agree more. Super solid play. The stutter stepping was amazing. The attack speed, once that comes online, that Kilgroth is so scary to deal with. Double jungle item build. Let's go into it. Let's get stacked. Let's have some fun. 50% attack speed.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Plus his item. He got Scorching Wind.
Yeah, exactly.
He had 100%.
Yeah.
When he outs with Gorelord, 100% attack speed. Just like constantly like basically cutting someone into like butter, basically.
Well, we're going to go ahead and have to hop right into the next one, because
Let's do it.
You take a look at Allegiance, and if I was the Allegiance organization, I would not be a set of happy campers. And so now they're going to have to
pressure.
come back, and they're going to have to do what they can to tie it up. We're going to fly the bands on your screen right now so you guys can see what we have for a change. Like we said, Allegiance is going to be on the red now, with Dino Riders taking up the blue, and Kilgroth.
Yeah.
The band's there.
So now Allegiance is taking it seriously. They're like, wait.
Let's go.
Let's not ban Omega anymore. Let's actually ban someone that we should be banning.
The 2 most critical heroes. Those are respect bans coming out from Allegiance. That says something, right? Yeah, no more messing around.
Yeah,
Let's
and I
take it
really like
serious.
in North America, they're catching up to the meta really fast. I would love to see a Kali though. However, Blim playing Kilgroth, that was just amazing to see the power of Kilgroth and how they're playing it. And I like these bans here. All these bans make a lot of sense. Lu Bu was just a monster on the other side. You gotta deny that. Of course, don't let Superman through. With Liliana banned, you have L'Oreal and Tulin. So the key for Dino Riders, don't give allegiance to the L'Oreal Tulin combo that they played on Wednesday and just decimated with.
Which do you, looking at the playstyle that Dino Riders was able to capitalize upon, is it going to be a L'Oreal or is it going to be a Tulin first pick?
I think
it's hard because whichever one they pick is pretty safe to say it's going to get paired with that Wonder Woman. You saw that as a priority pick for Allegiance in Game 1. There's a chance that they go ahead and pick that up on the second rotation. If they let it through, though, could be an option.
Yeah, I think they will probably take the Tulin or L'Oreal, but I think given Dino Riders and their mid laner, I think they'll probably opt for L'Oreal. She's still strong, she got that slight nerf, but a good L'Oreal is going to make a big difference in a lot of these team fights. And plus with Wonder Woman being picked, L'Oreal is really good against Wonder Woman because it's really hard to get onto the L'Oreal and stick onto her as Wonder Woman.
Well, let's see what we're going to decide. Dino Riders on the blue, Allegiance on the red. You guys can't see it, but the head shaking out of Environ is coming out because...
Caster Curse.
Caster Curse, indeed. Tulin being locked in for Dino Riders.
All right, Dino Riders securing their mid to start things off here. Lumber being picked up here by Allegiance with the Morin. Hey, they're basically taking Dino Rider's stat and throwing her right back at him.
Yeah, they're not going to give the Morin over to the side of Dino Rider because that guy's Morin was a monster. He just stayed in the fight and kept fighting. So really good play there. With Lumber being taken, that's a really good pick because Lumber is so strong after Teamy's not available. So let's see who Dino Riders will secure. Wonder Woman, Ryoma will be a good pick, but they're going to go with Crash here, actually.
I don't dislike that here because if Allegiance wants to commit more to an aggressive style, Crash can just sort of go and either negate that or set up the play for themselves here. But L'Oreal being hovered for the side of
you
Allegiance.
have to take L'Oreal here because if you give over L'Oreal and Tulin Jungle, that's a very deadly double mage composition that has worked really well for some teams.
Ryoma being picked up by Allegiance, and now the side will flip over to the 4 and 5 pick for the Dino Riders. I do like this Crash pick as well. Obviously, we've seen a higher percentage of Crash picks in just week 1 for North America over Europe. The prioritization as well as what he provides in those team fights with that ultimate definitely creates a pitfall as Omen and Violet.
Oh yeah, her.
I forgot. She's in the game, isn't she?
Yeah, she's probably the Tier SS strongest ADC now, and Zuka is going to play. MTS on Zuka was amazing. He played so well on Zuka, and that's such a good pick for the side of Allegiance here, and I feel like they have a really solid winning chance. As long as Zuka can get onto the backline, which is what Zuka's really good at, they're going to have a really good shot at winning a lot of key team fights.
This is, I think it's safe to say, this is one of the more even draft phases that we've had, especially in North America, because it looks like both teams got the priority picks that they were looking for.
It's always fun to see a draft when it feels like both teams got what they wanted, and now it's like, okay, now just whose strategy is better? Both teams ended up getting a lot of the picks that they wanted. It's like, well, all right, now your best up against my best. Let's see who comes out on top.
I mean, you also have to take a look at youth. We all thought that the Allegiance best was going to dominate the Dino Riders, but the Dino Riders definitely, proved their value that they're in the top 4 for a reason.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a very interesting choice to see, but we want to see what you guys think about it as home. Make sure you hit up Twitter with the hashtag Valor Series. Tweet us your predictions for Game 2, as well as if you believe the Dino Riders can actually upset the #1 seed in the North American bracket. Guys, are you guys willing to change your predictions? You get one a day. Is this your mulligan?
What I'm worried is Allegiance could lose their mental fortitude because of that loss. It could kind of tilt the team. But I'm not gonna change it. I think Allegiance will pull through and take this win. But Dino Riders, they're a pretty scary team though.
I'm going to stick with it. I think Allegiance can rally here. I think they have enough veteran experience at this point. But
Caster Curse now.
Caster Curse. Now they're just going to die. I'm sorry, Allegiance. We did this to you. My bad.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see because the game is going to get itself underway. Allegiance is down. The Dino Riders looking to secure themselves a spot in the finals later today. They are up 1-0 in Virum and Suijay. Let's see what we got.
All right, game number 2, Allegiance Dino Riders. Dino Riders, I want to say the definitely not the favorites here, up 1-0 over Allegiance. Props to them in a stellar game number 1. Creshed has wandered into a jungle and forced to retreat.
Yeah, that was a nice setup there by Allegiance. They knew the Crash wanted to posture around there, and they punished him for it with his health now less than half. However, no team is going to invade and play too aggressive here. They're going to wait until they get scale up, get their level 2s, and it's already 1 minute into the game.
As we're looking for it here, potential pick in the mid is going to be trying to set up for both sides here. They want to shut down the early play of this mid laner here because it'll give their own mid laner such an advantage as this matchup goes on. Already seeing Sleepy doing pretty well here in this matchup. We talk about how dominant L'Oreal is here in this situation, which is why you were kind of surprised that Tulin was the pick here for Dino Riders to start things off. Clearly they have a plan with this hero, but we're seeing why L'Oreal is so highly contested.
Yeah, Sleepy did a good job out-trading the Tulin there and winning the lane matchup. Because of that pressure in mid lane, he's going to be able to rotate and offer some support to his team. And let's see which team's going to posture around the Spirit Sentinel, or are they going to posture around the Dragon lane here. And looks like Allegiance here, or Dino Riders is winning kind of the trade here, getting the Vision Bird, which is really good play for Dino Riders.
Yeah, pretty even so far in terms of gold right now, 3.6 to 3.6 here, a slight, and I mean slightly, to the Dino Riders right now. But that being said, not anymore. Allegiance takes a first blood in the top lane. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to do. Spirit Sentinel is up. Who's going to rush it? Zuka and Morin. Morin is rotating down to the mid. Looks like a fight is collapsing on the bottom here with Dino Riders. are going to be able to catch someone out here. And it looks like they got KO pretty low. This is a good setup now for them to rush the dragon potentially here with the amount of poke that Violet is giving.
Yeah, Violet is doing such a great job just reducing the cooldown there on her primary fire and just putting this forward here, putting the damage under rest. Nicely done here, as well as Violet is going to look to try and steal this out here as well, as we do see the damage being split here. But that is the dragon actually going over the way of Allegiance. Rest almost paying for it with his life here, as Kresh can do a good job healing for the team as they're trying to go in on into the mid lane. Nice heal coming in from that Kresh to keep him alive.
Yeah, Hidden did a really good job using the heal. One thing though, I would love for him to give the shield sooner when his enemy team is taking damage, because that shield absorbs a good amount of damage for his teammates, like he's doing right now for Omen. And look at that, Omen's going to try to go in there, but not. Is he going to use his ultimate? He does not. And look at the amount of poke damage that's going back and forth.
Oh, Sleepy almost falling there. That was so very close. Dino Riders, though, smartly not overextending, not giving up any unnecessary takedowns here. Legions just have a nice 1k goldie after all this, because during all this excitement, we were able to just see a nice, solid play coming in here from them. They were able to just also make sure they were getting the farm in the lanes going as well. Ryoma in the bot lane. KO, can't give enough props to this guy. He played so well in that first game here. Wonder Woman's got to work it out for her in that bot lane.
Yeah, KO is such a monster on this Ryoma. Look at how he's going to position his stun, go in, use his Spectral Ire to do a lot of damage. That ultimate does a lot of damage once he lands it fully onto an enemy hero. And also MTS, we gotta watch that Zuka. Right now they're exerting a lot of jungle dominance, getting some key objectives like Sentinel Bat and the Birds, as well as Abyssal, putting them now almost to a 2k gold lead.
Yeah, they're putting the pressure up here onto this top portion of the map, as well as in mid. The Allegiance is pushing across the board here, as they are pushing it heavily onto the top here, as well as KO is forced to retreat in the bottom. But up in the top lane, we do have that takedown once again. Up there, this big fight breaking out. Kresh is forced to pop the ultimate once more, and there's the tower going down as well. Allegiance finally getting these crucial early game picks and towers that they needed to start to snowball themselves. This is what they're looking for here.
Yeah, Violet just finished a Soul Weaver, so she's playing the poke Violet build. Look at they get another tier 2 tower. This 4-man rotation has paid off immensely for the side of Allegiance here. This opens up the entire left side of the jungle for invades, for setups for the Dark Slayer. Allegiance is looking really good here. And with the Soul Weaver being built on Violet, it gives 90 attack damage. So now he wants to play more of a poke Violet, using the Tactical Fire, using the cooldown that her auto attacks give for Tactical Fire to poke the enemy team more. Because when it comes to an attack speed build, Morin's going to win that. He gets a lot of attack speed from his passive, as well as Scorching Wind. So this is an interesting playstyle that Violet's building here.
Oh no, speaking of Violet, she has found a bush full of enemies as well. Sorry, that's Wonder Woman as well. Violet is there, but able to stay alive. Wonder Woman taking the brunt of that force there. That was not an ideal situation to be in. Meanwhile, the dragon is going the way of Allegiance as well. Violet able to get herself out of there. I thought Allegiance was going to find themselves two fresh takedowns there in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Omen is still split pushing in the top here, but Allegiance is doing their work on the bottom as well. They are being so punishing to Dino Riders. They're coming back with a vengeance game number 2. They're taking towers, being so aggressive on this push specifically, which they weren't doing as much in game 1.
Yeah, for sure. Allegiance is playing much more precise now. They're playing like what they were known for, with solid 4-man rotations across the map, getting kills under the tower, then taking the towers. That was a huge play for them on the left side of the map. But I would love to see them kind of invade more. You know, they have that side open to them. Violet is now just farming that side of the jungle. If they have that open, they have a lot of territory control that they can exert because the 2 towers are down. But it looks like they're not going to punish Dino Riders for losing those 2 towers so far.
Yeah, nice drop from Melina. It's coming in for sure here, as they, are just keeping the pressure on with a 4K gold lead here in the mid lane. It hasn't felt like it's been that action-packed because we only have 3 takedowns, only 3 kills for Allegiance, but they have managed to produce such a lead for them as they're going to push in here onto the mid lane potentially. Rest was looking for that. He was going to try and get the big pick-me-up, put him down here in the mid lane, but not going all in on that quite yet, as KO and crew are going to look to go into the bush. They find the stun onto Kresh, but not an ideal target there. They're going to try to find 2 in the mid lane, able to chunk him down to half health, forcing him to blow some cooldowns to get out here, and now they are going to push in onto this tower here as well. Alliance is looking like sharks in the water, and they're looking for blood.
Yeah, Sleepy is playing so well on L'Oreal there. He is constantly poking out the 2-lane, using the blink aggressively. And look at that beautiful Magnetic Storm and Impact Barrage there, getting the stun. And Morin is going to try to frontline. Rocker is playing so aggressively, positioning, but this damage and this aggression is going to allow them to rotate to Dragon here and take the Dragon. But before they go to Dragon, they're going to go ahead and take the red buff.
Crest was an inch from death, barely getting that ultimate off in time to save his own life. What a sick play from him there, because if they'd started to snowball some kills, that could have been very, very bad for the side of Dino Riders here. But again, all the while, you know, Omen in top lane, that's still a thing. He's still up there just poking away.
Look at Morin. As soon as he gets his stacks, his precision stacks, that's 5 stacks, gives him 26% lifesteal at max level, and then it kind of resets his tactical maneuver once he uses a moveset and basically keeps attacking successfully. He can land like 7 shots so quickly. I mean, look at how many bullets are flying out of him. This is why Morin is really good. He's a guy that wants to get in your face and just fight because he gets a lot of lifesteal, output a lot of damage. Morin's a kind of ADC that wants to fight in a sustained fight to maximize that stack in his passive.
I mean, that's really how Allegiance is playing right now. They're getting the poke, getting the sustained fights, and then just out-mechanicking their foes. It's not like they're trying to find some sort of cheesy, all-in OTK one-hit kill combo. They're just trying to play straight up into Dino Riders right now, and they're going in, trying to look for these. And here's the engage. The stun is coming in as well. They're splitting their damage. Look at going in here onto that Omen, trying to isolate him, taking him down. They find the takedown there. Beautifully done. All the meanwhile, KO soloing the Violet in the back line. That was huge. We didn't really see Crash do anything in that fight there, though. I was kind of expecting a big ult. Where was it?
Key. And Zuka, MTS and Zuka, he landed such critical skill shots onto the Omen. Omen was out of position. He was kind of in the middle of the entire Legion's team and just got focused down so quickly. It doesn't matter if you have, you know, your untouchable ability, which reduces damage by 50% on Omen. It's just not enough if you have the whole enemy team focusing you down.
And meanwhile, the Darkslayer is being taken solo here by Rock. You're talking about that lifesteal. You're seeing it utilized. He just backed up and just casual Dark's Slayer solo. That's no problem at all here for him at this point in the game, and he is getting super fed. This is exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah, he has 5.7k gold. Zuka is the one that had, though, the most fed in the game. He has a good Mantle of Raw build along with the Spear of Longenius, which is really good, and Roma has that too. What that does is it reduces the enemy opponent's armor at every basic attack they do. So whoever they focus down, Ryoma and Zuka, is going to help Morin do even more damage. And Morin building Clave's Sanctity, which gives that critical chance. A lot of critical damage, a lot of lifesteal. Morin is looking pretty good with the composition they've built.
That dragon was alive for 3 seconds. It was alive. I timed it for 3 seconds before it was instantly deleted. The sheer amount of damage coming in. Watch the tower just drop here. They are the unstoppable force. Can Dino Riders be the immovable object? That is the question. Is there? Watch Rocker just rip this tower apart. The ult is going in from Crash as well. The side of Allegiance taking a lot of damage here, but they're going in, finding Omen. He is just gone. He's a leaf on the wind. Watch how he soars right off the battlefield right now as they are pushing in onto the core. Rocker is just going to start autoing this easy peasy with that. Game number 2 going to Allegiance.
Rocker turns into the meteor that is beating down towards the Dino Riders' extinction as Allegiance wins game number 2 and forces our first semifinal to a game number 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the desk. That was the Allegiance that we were hoping to see. They needed a little bit of a wake-up call. They had to rub their eyes for a second because I think they woke up.
Yeah, I love KO on Roma. I love MTS on Zuka, and their build was awesome. It synergized so well. As you notice, Morin got Rank Breaker, which has Pierce built in, and Spear of Longenius on both Roma and Zuka. So they're basically knocking and decreasing the opponent's armor, and whoever Morin focuses that has decreased armor, they're in big trouble.
Yeah, you saw it executed there quite a bit in that fight. It's like all of a sudden Allegiance was like, oh, we should probably play with our phones horizontally as opposed to vertical in game number 2. That was the difference maker there.
But the name of the game was the last letter of the alphabet. Zuka was the MVP of that match. It was very easy to see because he was playing out of his mind in the side lane.
Yeah, for sure. And he played it so well last Wednesday, too. This past Wednesday, him on Zuka really showed up and carried his team, and it was no different today.
It was just solid play from start to finish. The guy is a beast. Nothing more to be said.
So we have to ask, and it begs the question, okay, Zuka obviously played out of his mind. Rocker on that Morin, something that we've always been cognizant of in his prowess. Do either one of those warrant that ban now that the sides are flipped for game number 3, Suijay?
Yeah, I think for Dino Riders, I would not give Ryoma to KO. I would try to avoid the Zuka or play a graph that counters a Zuka. And also just don't give Rocker Morin. You know, his Zill is a little more aggressive and overly positioned, but his Morin is very, very, very good.
But, you know, I think at the end of the day, the mechanics are going to transfer. Yeah, the Morin was good, but at the end of the day, just give him a range ADC, and I think he could do pretty similar work no matter what. Even some of the ones we haven't even seen yet play. I mean, put him on a Slims, put him on a Fennec. I mean, who knows? You might see some crazy stuff from him. I don't think it's really going to matter what you put that guy on. Those were just raw mechanics from start to finish.
And you also have to think about, obviously, the aggression in the first 5 minutes of Allegiance play was beyond unbelievable, but once they got that lead, it didn't look like Dino Riders was really doing anything to come back. They kind of just, took the whooping and just allowed it to happen. And they're going to have to find a way to change that. In Virum, what are those steps?
They need to start getting kills. They need to start finding those opportunities. They need to start putting... The second they see... okay, the dragon spawns, we know they're going to be there. Let's get a kill in the offlane. Let's rotate. We know we can't fight them if we're behind. Let's look for something else where they need to look for getting some towers as well. You saw Omen just kind of, I'm trying to push my thinking in the top lane, and he, never got that tower the entire game, despite, almost never leaving that lane. It was just kind of... It clearly wasn't working for them. So I feel like they just need to make... When they were succeeding was when they were roaming as that 4. Really getting those kills as 4. They didn't do that as much the second game, and I think that's part of the reason they lost.
Yeah, for me, is the bans. Allegiance just banned out their key heroes. Lu Bu and Kilgroth were key to why... Dino Riders played so well, and they just banned out and got some strong side laners on the side of KO and MTS. And I think that was a difference maker because they were putting so much pressure on both top and bottom lane, allowing these huge invades to happen.
Well, the last time ALG faced up in game number 2, it was Teamy, Kilgroth, and Lubu that ended up being the ban. Let's find out what the next set of bans are going to be in just a second, because these are where things are going to start to change up a little bit. Now ALG is going to go Superman, obviously, and then the Teamy and the Lubu. I'm a little surprised about the blue side Superman, actually.
Yeah.
Because
it's the first pick.
Yeah, it's a first pick. Leave it on the table. Force Dino Riders to change up their style.
Yeah, exactly. And with Dino Riders banning out Tulin and Liliana, L'Oreal looks really good as a first pick right now. Kali may show up now because not a lot of mages are left. I think Zill will definitely come out. However, Lubu being banned, that's a respect ban to the side of Dino Riders, but we have Kilgroth available and Violet still, too.
I agree with that other statement, though. You could have just left him, ban the Kilgroth again, leave the Superman up, take it yourself. I mean, that's an opening right there. First pick, Superman. It's totally fine to pick him first because he just doesn't have any counters.
I mean, you pretty much checked every box that I think existed on the possibilities, the roles, the lanes, everything, that a hero can fill. Bans are completed, though. What's priority pick here for ALG?
I think the mage. L'Oreal Sleepy is just so dominant on L'Oreal. He was just out poking Tulin in that last game, winning the trades, putting a lot of mid-game pressure, and allowing these huge rotations to collapse on the dragon. And look, they first picked the Kilgroth, denying it from Dino Rider.
Hey, wow. That was my other thought here. That was the one here they left up. They left it up for a reason. Clearly, it was a factor in their loss. Now they're trying to make it a factor in the loss of Dino Riders.
I really like this draft, too. Wonder Woman is so strong. Ryoma is strong, denying from KO. However, with Allegiance picking Kilgroth, L'Oreal isn't as tasty because Kilgroth, again, his ultimate, he can't be slowed, so he can stick onto L'Oreal and really do some damage, and that's what happens. So they're going to definitely take the L'Oreal
and then
the Lumber.
The Lumber to help with the CC chain to make things a little bit easier for L'Oreal to kind of walk around. But like you said, picking away the Ryoma from the KO, at least it's a good start for the Dino Riders.
I wonder if they're going to take the Morin here and just not give the Morin over to the side of Allegiance. Preda, yep, there we go. Preda is a really good pick. This is a combination that they played really well in Game 1 and actually won because Preda is so good against counter initiating because they have to move out the way and disengage. If that Plague Spectre is charged up, it does 300% damage if it hits with a full charge.
But the Zuka, if you don't give one, you're going to get the other. Zephys and Zuka being the final lock-in, and quite the spicy composition that we have for Allegiance.
I like that better than the Omen because I've been pretty underwhelmed by the Omen play so far today.
Yeah, Thane or Chognar, I would say, would be the better pick here because you want Chognar to disengage and counter all the CC coming from the side of Lumber, Zephy, Zuka. But they're going to actually go with an Omar here. That's a really strong early game support. He's one of the best supports early game. He can proc his stun multiple times. So let's see how this plays out.
They might have swapped there at the end. I'm not quite sure. Something. Oh no, they just swapped heroes. Right.
Yeah, they swapped. They swapped roles. Yeah, it was okay.
Whoa, sorry, scared me there for a second. I was like, wait, what's happening? Oh, no.
Maganga, hello? Is he there? Maganga, is he there? No?
Maganga's-
Okay, I'm just kidding. No, but okay.
sorry.
But again, you take a look at this draft, I think Dino Riders was much more successful. Despite the strong draft that they had in game number 2, I still think that this draft in game number 3 has its merits. You got the Ryoma out of KO, as well as the opportunity to take that Morin away from Rocker.
Yeah, I mean, Allegiance has such a solid draft, too. I mean, they have Kilgroth, who can't be CC when he's ulting. He's going to dive in there and get onto that Morin. And then you have Zephy that wants to go in. Zuko want to go in. Lumbar with a ultimate stun. There's a lot of dive and CC potential from the side of Allegiance. So if they execute their combo really well, that's really scary.
Yeah, I think Allegiance has a great draft. No, I agree 100%.
I'm gonna just, I'm gonna agree with Sweej and life is gonna be good, and life is good. But I don't want you to agree with Sweej. I want you guys to tell us what you think about this match. Head over to Twitter and use the hashtag Valor Series. Let us know your predictions. Game number 3 is here. The winner faces the finals, which we're gonna have that second semifinal a little bit later. But it is all about Allegiance and the Dino Riders right now. Any last second thoughts about the potential of Dino Riders? Or are they going to face extinction? We don't know. We might see, but we're going to find out right now because it's going to be game number 3 of our semifinal match here in the Valor Series. Allegiance, Dino Riders 1-1. Winner goes to the finals. Loser goes home.
A lot on the line here for these two teams in the ace match between Allegiance and Dino Riders. So, Sui-J, walk me through this Ormar pick in the early game. Not a hero we've really seen here. How is he going to affect the early game for Dino Riders?
Yeah, he has a lot of damage with the stun and his abilities. He can do a lot of damage if he lands it on multiple enemies, but looks like they're not going to use that as an advantage to invade here with the Ormar. I think right now they're going to play him more defensively right now. They're going to basically keep him on top and around the Morin to stun and be able to keep, the Zephys and the Zukas off the Morin, because if they get onto Morin, that's going to be a really bad look for him.
Yeah, Morin is just going to sit back in a jungle. This is often how we've been seeing the ADC role sort of develop here, particularly in North America as well, especially with these changes we've been seeing in terms of items and just keeping him safe here, allowing him to get that early game farm. It's what I like to see for the side of Dino Riders. They don't want to play too aggressive into Allegiance because they haven't notoriously been super successul with all of those early game invades.
Yeah, I like what Ress is doing here. He's posturing, just asserting dominance and pushing Ormar out of his own jungle there, and that's what you want a support to do. You want the support to be more assertive, more aggressive, saying this is my territory, which then gives your team a mental advantage when it comes to the aggression that's coming out, and that's going to lead to taking the vision birds and then hopefully a objective like Spirit Sentinel.
In the mid lane, though, Sleepy has found himself in the midst of 3 foes, but that is a turn there onto the Praetor. Rest has joined up. Rocker is here, though. Look at the auto attack damage going in there. Look at the heal. Is it going to be enough? No, that is first blood as Morin just falls well. That Praetor damage was not on point, but KO with the KO here. That double kill, sweeping them aside. That was impressive. That was crazy from Allegiance.
And Morin was out of position, so Allegiance completely just capitalized on that and just dove onto him. And then RR on the Praetor, he missed some key Plague Spectre. He actually Plague Spectre the other direction when L'Oreal was using Endure. So that's something that's gonna hurt the team if he kind of misses those key skill shots, because that's a big disengage. You see how much damage it's doing when it's fully charged up. So he's got to be really, really, really good, precise with that.
I mean, at one point there was an Ormar in the mid lane just there, and now he's gone. He's just gone. Allegiance coming out with 4 quick kills against the Dino Riders. It seems like everything is lining up. Allegiance, they were feeling, a little bit, they hadn't eaten their Wheaties yet before they got into game number 1, but now game number 2 and 3, they are looking solid. Rocker is going in, but this might be the overextension. Sleepy needs to show up and help give the team this pressure. They're doing a lot of damage to the side of Allegiance, but here we go. Sleepy is in the building. Wonder Woman is now in full retreat, but the rest of the side of Dino Riders here going to try and clean up these kills if they can manage it. Wonder Woman is still alive, but the rest of the team is collapsing onto this as well. They need to try and survive here. A double kill coming out, so a 2-for-1 trade, not even, sorry, 2-for-1 trade coming in here for the side of Dino Riders.
Yeah, that's something that, they fought, they're aggressive, they're not that behind yet, so this aggression is okay as long as they can catch someone off guard here. Right now, though, with Dragon and Bat, Spirit Sentinel, Kilgroth just taking it, Rocker is slowly getting more and more fed. Look at it, he has 2k gold already, as well as L'Oreal, compared to the side of Dino Riders, who no one is barely even close to 2k.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, again, only one kill coming the way there for Dino Riders. I mean, they're trying to find something here, but it just looks like they're kind of a little bit frazzled. They're a little bit all over the place here. And look at the pressure already being put into this top lane as well by Allegiance. They're trying to get some pressure into the jungle here. And honestly, Morin just wants to sit back and farm, but KO is such a powerful laner in his ult. We always talk about how good Wonder Woman is in lane, but it doesn't matter what hero KO is playing, he seems to always be winning that matchup.
Yeah, and I like that Zephy's side lane there. You know, playing side lane Zephy is something we don't see very often, but Zephy is a pretty good side laner based on his whole kit. And look at this fight here. He is basically winning the trade against Wonder Woman because he knows he has the higher level advantage, and he takes that trade.
He needs to be running for dear life, though. He needs to be careful. Yeah, he realizes there is a hot pursuit going for him right now in that top lane. He needs to back up and reset there. Nicely done, though. Again, shutting down Wonder Woman. We see how powerful that hero can be in the late game if she's allowed to get farmed, and they are denying that right now. 7 kills to 1, a solid gold advantage here, and that is a lot of pressure going into the bot lane. Good night, Ryoma.
Yeah, that was a little risky there to try to jump in front of the wave and then ult the wave there and putting himself in a really bad position to get CC. There's a Lumber and a Zuka. You got to be very careful because they have 2 crowd control abilities that you don't want to get landed on you, and he paid the price.
Morin, though, with an aggressive rotation into the jungle of the side of Allegiance. They're trying to chase him down right now. He needs to be careful. Ormor is there, going to look to try and peel for his team. The damage coming in from Sleepy is solid. Is not enough to secure the kill, though. That was almost so risky for the side of Dino Riders. They were barely able to make it work. Sleepy playing so aggressive, walking into range there, finding more. Never mind, there's the takedown right there. The rest of the team is going to follow suit. Look at the chain CC onto Wonder Woman. There is another kill there. Beautifully done. Allegiance has so much confidence.
Yeah, and look at that kill Groth. Just, you cannot get him off you when he's on top. And attack speed, the lifesteal he's getting from that Scorching Wind item. Rocker is just getting fed and fed this entire game, but Sleepy really is the player that's making plays here. He's playing so aggressive as L'Oreal. He knows he has a huge power spike, and he's ahead, and he's definitely abusing and pushing that advantage.
I mean, Rocker, more like Rockstar. This guy is playing out of his mind right now. All series long, this guy has been doing work so far. But you know what? We haven't really talked about MTS in this bottom lane much. He's going now 1v1 against that Ryoma, but this Zuka play has been so solid. We saw how powerful this hero was in the last game, and it's just kind of low-key been doing work this so far. But once this mid game comes in, once they start to look for these big 5-man rotations, I expect Zuka to do work.
Yeah, and look at that. All 4 members of the side of Allegiance have Gilded Greaves completed already, so a lot of the CC from Omar is going to be negated because of that resistance that Gilded Greaves gives, and that's going to help, you know, Allegiance get out of some tricky situations when they get stunned like that, or when they dive too. It's going to be really effective against Ormar.
Well, speaking of diving, they're going in right now. Rocker finding it. There's the knock-up. Look at the damage coming in from Rest. The follow-up, setting up his team beautifully here. Only securing 1 takedown, but Zuka says, nah, let's make it a few more. Diving the tower, going to dive for it. Maybe a bit of an overcommit, but the lifesteal from Rocker?
Not enough, but that aggression paid off for them. And Lumber, Sleepy, Rest on that Lumber, landing their Earth Shardder. That was insane. Double stun, securing some key kills that allowed them now to take this tier 2 tower down.
They are looking so dominant right now, 13-3. Dino Riders is in full retreat. How do you rally if you are the side of Dino Riders right now? What do you do to come back in
this? You gotta calm down. You gotta do good wave control. You have to give over some objectives. You already lost the tier 1 and tier 2 tower on the Dragon side. You cannot contest Dragon at this point. You just need to stop the bleeding and get the level disparity down. Look at Ormar. Ormar is level 7. He just turned level 7 actually. He's level 6 when the other side team was level 10 and 11. You cannot contest and fight them and be aggressive here because your lower level makes you a lot weaker in this situation.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough situation to deal with because Sleepy, despite, you know, fighting up against a 3v4 or a 3v4 situation, is still standing quite strong. And I think part of the problem is Ormar is just sort of standing right where he is right now, just around this bush, sort of around that sentinel, just guarding. Just guarding for Morin in that early game, but not really getting any soak, not really
Yeah,
getting this
and look
experience.
at that lifesteal. He is able to solo the Darkslayer, and with the Fnatic passive, every attack he does, it gives him up to 50% attack speed, which is 100% attack speed with Scorching Wind. And wow, Kilgrot soloing the Darkslayer like no problem. That's a very sneaky play by Legions here.
Yeah, KO decided to join Dino just at the end, just for good measure here as well. So the Darkslayer has been killed, going the way of Allegiance, so nice down there. The Dragon is going to fall as well as they're pushing in onto the bottom lane here. Ryoma is getting caught out, defeated in an instant. Rest and crew able to secure that takedown easily here, as they are now up 14 kills to 13, a 6K gold lead for them as well. This is so solid. The red tower, yeah, it's gone, and I think a few more are soon to follow.
Yeah, this is a huge engage here. There's a Lumber Out, it misses. And they're going to be able to get onto the Omar and kill him. And look at the amount of damage just coming out. That's just too risky there for Dino Riders to even try to contest or compete here.
Yeah, they're just ripping the side of the Dino Riders apart, diving under towers with impunity. They don't mind. They have the health bars. They have the regen. They have the ability to just survive forever here. They are just looking, at this point, so dominant that I'm not sure that Dino Riders can pull this back right now. Dino Riders would need a miracle at this stage because Allegiance is pushing in on all fronts right now. But mid, they are taking on all these tier 3s. They are looking so solid. And if a few kills go their way, they might look to end right here. They're going in. There's the stun, the follow, the knockup. There is the takedown, securing that, and they're going in onto the core. With that, I believe this is going to be it. This is going to be GG. Allegiance is going to take it 2-1 over the Dino Riders. What a fantastic series from them, taking it 2-1. We weren't sure in that first game, but they clutched it in game 3.